All right, so now we're looking at the alternator of a car.
Yeah.
Right? So that's this thing right here.
And,
and what we're doing is we're measuring voltage output. Because what this is supposed to do is as the engine is spinning and it's running, there's a belt connected to the crank of the engine. And that belt also connects to the alternator. So the alternator is what supplies power to the battery and kind of the rest of the car too when the engine is running. Okay? Right now we see 0 volts, right? But if we spin this by hand, we can create just enough to get a reading on the multimeter. So we're getting like, ooh, we got 002, so 0.002 volts, right? Yes, just like that, whatever. Now, Addie did have a good idea. She's like, hey, what if we attach like a drill to this and spin it?
Because look in the middle.
Yeah, because there's a nut on there, so we can try that. So, do you think you're strong enough to do this?
No.
All right. So you're gonna put it right on there. Make sure it's on.
It is.
Okay. Here, I'll scoot it for a little bit.
Try
again. Now we're gonna watch the voltmeter and see how much voltage we can create by spinning it. Whoa! Look at that. You got like
35.
You got like 3/10 of a volt or something like that. Like it's not a lot, right? Because normally this thing is spinning at how fast?
Really fast.
Like 800 RPM.
Yeah.
That means rotations per minute. Pretty cool. So normally, where's my flashlight?
I don't know.
Where'd you put my flashlight? So normally, when the alternator is connected to the engine, it sits about like this. You got a belt running on it, and it runs down to the crank of the engine.
Yeah.
So as the engine's spinning, it's spinning alternator. It spins about 800 rotations per minute at idle, and then much higher when you're actually driving.
Cruising.
Yeah, when you're cruising around, right? When you're just like that. Yeah, that's how people cruise. And that supplies power from here, which is what we were measuring at, all the way to the battery. So that keeps the battery voltage maintained while you're driving. That way the battery never dies or goes too low, and you can power all of your electronics and stuff inside the car. Ta-da! Alright, so we decided to go out to my car and check and see what happens once we actually start it.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just measuring battery voltage, which is about 12.49 volts. That's pretty much exactly what you want. About 12.5 volts is it's a good battery. Definitely nothing wrong there. But when we actually start the car, which I'll do here in just a second, you're going to see that voltage change because of the alternator. It's going to go up a little bit. All right, so you're going to try and start my car?
Yeah, I'm not excited.
Right. So we're in neutral, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you left and right only. Okay. And then clutch all the way in and push the button. Holy crap, you did it!
I did it!
All right, now let's go see what their voltage is.
And your music started playing.
Well, we'll let's put the window down.
I started the car!
Hey, what's it at now?
It's at 14.31 or 32.
Yep, it's about 14.3 volts.
Yeah. No idea what you just said, but okay.
Generally about 14.4 volts is
Really
about
hard
what
to
you
hear
want.
you.
Okay, 1 second. We'll shut the car off and keep talking.
And we're back!
Alright, so you see how it's slowly dropping down? Because the battery's starting to regulate voltage back down to the normal. But it was at 14.4, right? Almost 14 and a half volts.
It said 14.32.
Yeah.
Or 31.
Yeah, that's good. Generally, if your alternator is outputting about 14 volts or a little bit higher, that's great. That's what you want when the car is at idle. Means your alternator's working. You see how now we're watching the voltage drop. That's normal because now the car's off.
94, 93,
it should settle once it's done to about 12.5 or so, like it was before.
Yeah.
But that's how the alternator helps keep voltage in the battery when the car's running. Yeah.